Mhm. Hello, coaches. Here, Coach Carmen Bonilla with some LinkedIn highlights. I am recording this in May 2022, and I want to share with you some things that have caught my eye in recent days on LinkedIn and share with you my opinions and thoughts and recommendations on these items. So I am mainly filming this for my coaches, and I will later open this as a marketing piece to others who may be interested in my job search coaching services. And so, introducing myself very quickly, I am a leadership development facilitator and also a job search coach. In the past, I was an assistant professor of management for Rutgers Business School, and I bring diverse background and professional experience in multiple areas that allow me to connect better and be able to help you with your job search. Here's my contact information on the right, should you want to get in touch. And so the first thing that I want to highlight for you, I just saw this posted by Ellevest, the financial investing company by Sally Krawcheck, former Wall Street CFO. And it's mentioning that this week of the past week ended May 20th, the S&P 500 went into bear market territory for technology, communications, and consumer discretionary sectors. So this is always good to keep in mind and to keep tabs on in case that you are conducting your job search in these areas. Keep in mind that opportunities, you may see them dry up a little bit or get a little bit slower. But overall, these are just three sectors of the stock market. So we still have lots of other sectors that are not in that bear market. And so I wanted to comment as a second thing on this article about creative ideas on how to stand out to potential employers. And so let's go through these ideas. Just a sec. Just a sec. Stay with me. All right. So here's the article. And so this was an article where a number of job search coaches contributed to it, and I would like to share my thoughts with you on these. As I have said to you, once you ask for opinions on job search to different people, you are definitely going to get different opinions. I want to share my opinions with you. The first idea to help you stand out to employers is to actually share the job posting on your LinkedIn and then make a comment about it, conclude with a comment that you are adding your name as an applicant to it. Um, in general, I do not agree with this. This is not something that I would suggest that you do. Most of you, my coachees, are executive coachees, and I also have several of you who are mid-level management. I would not recommend this for any of you, nor is it appropriate to be asking questions publicly about a potential job. I would prefer to see you asking any questions privately on a one-on-one basis with someone. And so number two, connecting personally and specifically, I definitely agree with this. And this is this goes to the advice that I give you many times of how do you customize your pitch? How do you customize your elevator pitch to a particular job, right? Be sure to speak to them with the most relevant information that they will find about your background. And so that in this day and age when attention can be so tough to fight for, when you make your message more relevant and more specific to them, you are increasing your chances of making a connection. Number three, informal employee interviews. This is all about the informational interviewing technique that we talk about when we get to the step of job search strategies. And so this is definitely a great and a very important strategy to follow. In particular, in the executive job search, I definitely recommend that you be networking heavily. It is what is expected in the executive job search. And it helps you a lot because people get an opportunity to figure out, do they like you? Can they see themselves working with you? So for sure, do conduct some informational interviews. These can be great opportunities also to get information about potential salary ranges and company culture, etc., etc. And so as I am discussing these ideas, if any questions come up for you, I encourage you to write them down and bring them to our next conversation so that we can discuss your particular one-on-one questions. Number four, gather intelligence to highlight your value. And so this goes closely to what we were just saying with on point number three, finding out information about the job, information that is available on glassdoor.com, for example. Great source of information to learn more about what past employees of a particular company have said about their experience working there. Company culture, that can be a great source to read about company culture. And so take it always with a grain of salt, right? Because many times the people who gravitate towards providing this type of online reviews are people who have strong feelings about their experience. And so you may end up reading a lot about what are the negatives of that organizational culture. So take it with a grain of salt. Tip number five, interesting, someone here giving a suggestion to send in your application materials via regular United States Postal Service. And so this is actually a technique that I have seen in sales. For someone trying to stand out, trying to get around the applicant tracking system, for example. I'm not so sure in this day and age with so many hiring managers and recruiters working from home, how effective this might be. But you know, here you have an idea to do something unconventional by 2022 standards. So idea number six, I do like this idea quite a bit, and it is to create a short video introducing yourself. This is actually something that you can consider doing for your LinkedIn profile. In fact, as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, you know what, I should do it for my own LinkedIn profile too, and walk the talk. And so this can be a great opportunity, right? To let people get a sense for your energy, your style, your personality, and make yourself more personable. Number 7, connecting with organizations on social media. Definitely recommend to do this. In particular, a platform that I recommend my coachees to connect with is Twitter, for the value of keeping up with what is the latest and greatest at that company. I think researching and following companies on Twitter, it really gives you that aspect of understanding what are they focusing on nowadays. Okay. Tip number 8, share your key skill with people at the company. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So this is sounding a little bit complex. I would need to talk with this job search coach and see a little bit more about what he's thinking. Is he talking about doing work for free? Mm, no, no. Definitely not something that I am recommending. Tip number 9, a 30-day free trial. It sounds to me like perhaps can be a strategy for a more junior person, someone who is starting fresh out of school. In past years, right, we have heard of unpaid internships, etc., but not exactly something that you would consider at an executive level. Um, yeah, not exactly sure about that. I'm thinking if you want to do some pro bono work to keep your skills fresh while you are searching, you can always do that. And there are different tools to help you find this type of projects where you can contribute to a nonprofit, etc. Tip number 10 is talking about crafting a creative proposal with a solution. And so this is all about researching what are the issues that this company needs help with and creating a proposal for that. This has also been called pain letters by some job search coaches out there. And so this is a bit of work for free, right? Some hours that you would spend coming up with what would be your plan, etc. If you end up getting hired for the job, it could be a great outline for what you would focus on your first 90 days or something like that. So something that you could consider. Number 11, sending something clever or funny with your resume. You have probably seen those stories about people sending cookies or cupcakes with their resume, sometimes perhaps a video, etc. Not exactly sure how this would be looked upon on the executive search. Maybe a strategy that would make more sense for more junior roles. The video, I think, can work for the executive search. And then number 12 is talking about using a multimedia approach where you demonstrate your technology skills, how you keep up with multimedia, etc. I thought that this was interesting that the job search coach says that this can be a good strategy for older workers to show ability with technology. I can see where that coach is coming from. Tip number 13, understanding the company's annual agenda. Definitely a very, very interesting thing and very necessary thing to do, right? What are they focusing on right now? What is most important so that you can align to that? You can also speak about potential past opportunities um, where you have held companies in similar situations before, etc. And then number 14, follow up tenaciously. I like the word tenaciously here after you submit your resume. And so this is where introducing yourself in person and networking may actually cut down your need to follow up. Um, but the importance of following up is it's great, right? And my recommendation to you, my overall recommendation, is to follow up something like every 7 days or so, so that it doesn't become super burdensome on the person. All right, so those are my thoughts on those tips there. I hope it gets you thinking, generating creative juices. Feel free to bring any questions, thoughts, comments to our next coaching conversation. And so here I'm showing you on the screen a post that caught my eye recently. This is a post by a recruiter. And so this recruiter is reminding us that recruiters get very busy. And even when you have provided your resume to them, it is, they cannot guarantee to you that they're going to remember you and think about you when a suitable position opens up. So her tip, she's saying, apply, apply, apply. Don't wait for me to reach out to you. Get your name out there and remind the recruiter through your application that you are interested in a role. When you're working with a recruiter, it can also, I would apply and also send them a quick note, a quick email saying, hey, Courtney, I just submitted my application for such and such role. It sounds like a really great fit for me. All right. And so here is a post by another recruiter, and here she is commenting on her opinion about using the LinkedIn Open to Work green banner. And so this post, apparently it went viral to a certain degree, and it resulted in quite a bit of controversy on LinkedIn, so much so that I saw that after she made this post, I believe it was the next day, that she said, guys, I just stopped the functionality of continuing to respond to that post, because she had received a lot of disagreements. And so again, like I said before, right, in terms of job search, you're going to find those who say, yes, use the banner, and you're going to find others that say, no, don't use the Open to Work banner. Now, one thing that caught my eye from this post is that she recommends, as a recruiter, that you target and your outreach and apply for specific jobs. And she says here that recruiters can see your previous applications. And so that catches my eye. I'm going to be sharing this with my colleagues and get a feel for what can recruiters see on LinkedIn, And I believe that what she's referring to is previous applications at their company. So yeah, in that sense, right, we don't want to be seen as a candidate who is applying for way too many different roles. All right, and then here is another example. And this is an example of a technique that is actually discussed in the hidden job market book notes that we discuss. This is the technique of asking someone to introduce you to their network. This is like vouching for you, and it is a technique of looking to expand visibility. So here in this example, these posts are from people that I don't know. Jay wrote this message on behalf of Miss Pilkington here. And so he talks about her, and he asks, he gives a call to action, right? He makes his ask, and this is her profile. He is encouraging people to go visit her profile and help her in her job search. This is a pretty broad strategy, right? So here he's making a very broad post. A lot of people are seeing it. Most of us are not going to be able to help Miss Pilkington. And with LinkedIn being a global website, it can get a little bit like lost in the ocean. But it's one of those techniques that could be used. We could also consider some more targeted techniques, right? And ask someone who is willing to do this. Well, would they be willing to actually message 5 people, 10 people that they are connected with on LinkedIn who may be more relevant contacts for us? And so here I am highlighting posts by a couple of you, my coaches. And this post here that I'm showing is this post about sharing with your network what you are looking for. And so if you're going to do this, I think it's totally fine. I hope and I wish for you that it will get you some results. I have done something similar in the past, and often I don't get as many results as I would like. I find that communicating one-on-one sometimes gets me better results. And so something that this posting is doing very nicely, it's mentioning the industries that the person is looking in, and then it's mentioning roles that the person is looking for. So here in the roles section, I would advise to use even more specific roles. And for this, you can leverage the work that we did on your keyword analysis, where we identified the titles that you are gravitating towards and applying for. So I would mention, like, say, VP, director, and for example, implementation manager, et cetera, and go into perhaps a bit more detail is what I find in these titles here, that they are very, very broad. And so, for example, customer service and support gosh, this can be super, super broad, and it can bring you a lot of information that are not relevant jobs for you. So this is a post, right, requesting referrals, and to request referrals we want to be pretty specific and make sure that we're giving people really good information to help us with our request. Another, I saw another of my coachees, super proud of this, writing and publishing articles on LinkedIn, working on your thought leadership. This is fantastic. In particular, if you are doing some, if you are doing consulting work, it can definitely help you with your business development. And so thank you for watching. I hope that these tips were helpful and that they can get your creative juices thinking about how else can you utilize LinkedIn. As I said, bring any questions, happy to discuss further anything that comes up for you. And if you are someone getting introduced to my work as a job search coach, would be happy to connect with you. Here on the screen, I am sharing with you my email address, phone number, and how you can find me on LinkedIn. Feel free to get in touch. Take care and talk with you soon.